I was astonished and appalled to think that the government could put an app on my phone without my knowledge, and especially one that invaded my privacy so deeply by tracking my movements 24/7.
All right, how about this? Another story going under the radar. The Massachusetts Department of Public Health, in coordination with Google, allegedly putting tracking software on thousands of people's cell phones during the COVID-19 pandemic. Nobody had any knowledge that this was happening, but they were being tracked as they moved around the Bay State.
Yeah, unbelievable. Joining us now for more is former Massachusetts State Representative who was tracked by this app, Geoff Diehl, and constitutional law attorney, Newsmax contributor Amir Beno. Geoff, thanks for joining us. I live in Massachusetts. I saw this story. I said, oh, great. Are they tracking my phone? Walk us through what happened.
Yeah, it was interesting because when the pandemic hit, obviously there was a lot of things, the lockdowns, new guidances. We weren't really sure what was happening. Things were rolling out. One of the things I saw on Facebook was that somebody said, my Android phone has installed an app that is tracking my movement. So I said, well, let me look at my phone. And sure enough, it was there. What happened was the DPH, Department of Public Health in Massachusetts, in concert with Google, put this app on people's phones. On Android, it was automatic. With iPhones, you had to actually grant permission. So that's where some people got alerted to it. But once I found out what was going on, I obviously deleted that, and it was tracking our movement. I also got in touch with the folks at the New Civil Liberties Alliance, which is the one filing the class action suit. So I rounded up some other people I knew that had had that app installed, and they've been working on the case ever since.
Yeah, you were the Republican candidate for governor in Massachusetts in the fall, too. So when I first saw this, I thought there might be a political angle. Geoff, just quick follow-up. Did Massachusetts ever admit to any wrongdoing?
No, that was the problem. We had a Republican governor at the time, Charlie Baker. Mary Lou Sutters was our Department of Public Health secretary. She never admitted this. And I think the concern with a lot of people is not only the tracking of our movements, but also this is sort of that camel's nose under the tent with surveillance state. People are concerned about open road tolling if, EVs basically replace the gas use of the gas tax. And so I think people are saying, really, government needs to have a boundary as to where they can track our movement or our activities. And I think this case is going to really help solidify that when it comes to, for example, pandemic procedures.
Amir, is this legal?
Well, that's the issue, right? That's the lawsuit. It doesn't sound like it's legal. It sounds like it violates the Fourth Amendment. The allegations here are that by putting a tracking mechanism on the phone, by the way, it was automatic. It used to be that you had to get an app for it, but apparently there was such a low volume of people who were actually downloading that app that they just decided they were going to automatically put it on the Android devices. And then you had to elect out of it. So you were automatically defaulted into it. And it was collecting information as to your movements and where you were, with the idea being that it would notify you if you came into close contact with somebody who was infected with COVID. That violates the Fourth Amendment because that's a government intrusion into a reasonable expectation of privacy for purposes of trying to search, to collect information on you. They've also alleged that it violates the Fifth Amendment, something called the Takings Clause, that it occupied a portion of these individuals' phones, some of the space on their memory without their permission. It might sound small, but the government's not allowed to do that without compensating people for it. So those are the arguments that the plaintiffs are making. Obviously, the government is saying, we didn't actually search for anything, and this is moot because we're not doing it anymore. And by the way, it's not the governor of Massachusetts who you need to be suing. You need to be focusing your attention on Google, so you've got the wrong party. Those are really where the lines are drawn.
It's so Orwellian, though. They wanted to track your movements to make sure you weren't exercising at the gym or going to a bike path or doing something like that. So the class action lawsuits now are to sue the state of Massachusetts and to sue Google. Geoff, just quickly, why would Google allow this to happen?
Well, I'm actually a user of Google. I appreciate the fact that they can combine a lot of my services together. I can navigate easily with my car. But I think what happened was there was just this feeling that I guess the pandemic overrode any other privacy concerns, and they just moved forward. I'm not sure if there's other states that are going to join this lawsuit, or people from other states. But I know in Massachusetts, this definitely was a coordinated effort with Google, and I really don't know why they thought this was okay.
It was a lockdown paradise, particularly in blue states, particularly states like Massachusetts. Too bad. Amir Beno, Geoff Diehl, we appreciate you being with us this morning. We'll do it again soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Still